All right, this is my Ducati story, Ducati 748 story. Back in 2013, when I really wanted a Ducati and couldn't really afford it, I had a job and all, but it wasn't part of the budget. So I was looking around. I found a Land Rover for really cheap. I think it was $1,000. No, it was actually $800 or $900, and it needed 2002, so it was already like 15 years old. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, not 15. Yeah, like 10, 12 years old, and needed a head gasket like all Land Rovers of that era, like 2001, 2002. It's a blue head gasket from thermostat being bad, and people just drive it, and it blows head gaskets. So bought one and spent about $400, including getting the heads reworked and all with a gasket and all that stuff, and put it together. I learned how to put it together. It was pretty easy actually. It took me about 3 months. Started like in December, then ended up figuring out how to do it. Took it all apart. Took me like a month because I was doing it after hours. After I got done with work, I would come home, work in the garage for like 2, 3 hours a day. It was therapy pretty much, and put the whole thing back together. It took me like 4 months because I could not, a lot of little stuff, figuring it out. And first time working on an engine too, and put it all back together. Got it running. Drove it for about 3 months. I think it took me like 4 months to put. So around July of 13, actually July of 2012, put it all together and put an ad on a local forum saying for sale. And a lot of people want to offer like $4,000, but it was a lot of sentimental value more than actual price of the actual what the truck was worth. A lot of sentimental. It worked out a lot. That's a lot of time out in the cold in the garage, and put it all together. Got it running actually. It was a very nice truck, and interior was really nice, and did no rust. I believe I had an aluminum body, like a 2002 Land Rover Discovery SC. So anyway, so I wanted a Ducati, and didn't wasn't gonna pay like 5 to 6. I think it was worth like $5,000 at the time. So I wasn't gonna pay $5,000, and I ended up wanting to sell the truck, but I put said trade for a motorcycle, like especially a Ducati or an Aprilia. I already had a Aprilia at the time. This one I have had for about 10, 12 years now, and used to do track with it, and track days and streets. So it was back and forth. So I'm like, you know what? I want a Ducati now. So traded a gentleman, older gentleman, for a Ducati. He had one for sale. He lost. The story goes he lost his driver's license, and his wife was driving him around in a minivan, and then she said she wanted a truck, and it just worked. It worked for both parties. And the guy worked at a body shop, and the motorcycle, the Ducati that he was selling was black. So I told him, we're talking, and ended up saying he worked at a body shop. So I told him I really like the Ducati yellow, and he agreed. We agreed even trade for the truck, and he'll give me the Ducati. It was running at the time, and he said he'll get it painted, like he'll paint it yellow, and asked me for a colors, of course, Ferrari yellow. And he painted it Ferrari yellow. It came out really nice. Wasn't like perfect, but it came out really nice. Not like dealership brand new, but it was very close. And I ended up taking it, rode it, and it was just Ducati, by the way. And this is the story, and it's so had a yellow, and now the only thing yellow I have left is after I got it repainted, after I bought it back. I'll get to it. And ended up riding it for about a year. I think end of 2013. I was kind of the bike wasn't taken care of mechanically. It just was all there, but at the same time, it needed so many knickknacks. Like clip-ons wouldn't match, and rear sets were kind of loose, and exhaust was loose. Almost everything on the bike was just loose, and some bolts and nuts missing here and there. And the guy was in that into maintaining his motorcycle. So, and I ended up getting it. I put a lot of money into maybe like $400 of just knickknacks that I bought online, and put it all together. Got it. It was running at the time, so I made it to the way I liked it. Got it all fixed up, and rode it. Then at the time, I used to do more track days than now, and so I'm thinking, I have an Aprilia, and it's 1,000. I'm not that fast, just so you know, and wanted to do more track days with the Aprilia, but I wasn't gonna wreck the nice bike with the OZ rims and all. So decided I wanted to trade the Ducati. I wasn't riding the Ducati a lot at the time. I used to daily ride it every day, but then it became where kickstand was bent. I guess all Ducatis have that problem, or all the ones I've looked at. So the factory kickstand just gets all soft and just doesn't want to stay up. So I didn't want to fall in a parking lot and park it somewhere, then gets knocked over because it's so leaned over so far and falls over. So, did an oil change, cleaned it all up, air filters, spark plugs, wires, all fluids, changed out the clutch master with an Aprilia, the radial master, so you can pull the clutch in, and slave cylinder, all that stuff, all brand new. And ended up trading it for a beat up, not really beat up, I would say, an Aprilia, like a 2000 Aprilia, a great bike. Rode really nice. It needed a little bit of work. The previous owner maintained all that. Then wanted a Ducati because he was having a hard time selling the Aprilia. Aprilia is apparently hard to sell, and needed paint. Like, it was just spray painted too. So I'm like, you know what, that's fine. And I wanted to paint it, a color I want, because then it was going to go on the track a lot. So I wasn't concerned about the bodywork. It was kind of scratched up. So I had race bodywork ready to go that I used on my road bike. Ended up trading it, even traded it, and so the gentleman took it, and that was the story. That was how I owned owned a Ducati for a year, and ended up selling it. Right after I sold it, my daughter, she was 4 at the time. She goes, she really missed the yellow bike. She would always talk about it. She goes, I had a few pictures, and she's like, oh, remember the yellow motorcycle that you had? It was really cool. It was really loud and really clickety noise and all that stuff. And I kind of started missing it too at that point. Then I started looking for my bike and didn't find it. Previous sold it to some guy, and I had no information. I didn't save his number or anything, and the bike was gone, right? So it was somebody else's. I was going to buy it back, but anyway, that was the story. Owned it, sold it, then, and that's this bike, by the way. Got it back eventually. So that's the story so far. And next video, I'm going to put the rest in the next video. It's kind of annoying, too long. All right.